Right. Hello everyone, this is David. So I'm going to be your instructor throughout this entire Python series. So without any further delay, let's jump right into our first topic, which is about introduction to Python. So first and foremost, before we are learning anything, so we must be clear on what we are learning, why we are learning, and to whom audience is this valid, right? Now, as you all know, we are learning about Python here, and these lectures will be suitable for anyone who has is this first and foremost Python. All right. Hello everyone. This is David. So I'm going to be your instructor throughout this entire Python series. So without any further delay, let's jump right into our first topic, which is about introduction to Python. So first and foremost, before we are learning anything, so we must be clear on what we are learning, why we are learning, and to whom audience is this valid, right? Now, as you all know, we are learning about Python here, and these lectures will be suitable for anyone who has zero understanding about Python, zero understanding about programming, or you have just started writing some code or started learning. So as you all know, Python is today's language for AI. Right? So everywhere you see all the AI that is being built, every day we see something new all the time, right? Especially in AI. For example, we've seen all these LLMs doing so many magical things, right? So the underlying code of all of this is Python, right? So Python is a hero language right now, and there are a lot of reasons for us why we have to learn Python. So we'll cover each of these in a simple, fun, and step-by-step way. Now, first, even before talking about Python, so what is this programming, right? So why do we have to program something, right? Now, for example, if we have to talk to our friends, right? So we talk in our, in our own languages, right? So whether it's in English, whether it's our hometown languages, right? So in Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, whatever it is, right? So we have our own languages to communicate with people, correct? Now, similarly, if we want to talk to computers, right, and get some things done, we need to have some communication between the computer and us, right? So that is why we need this program, right? So in order to communicate with the computer, and not only, right, so by communicating, what do we do? At the end of the day, there is some action, right? We want to get some things done. We want to create a website. We want to create a calculator, right? Or you want to create your, ticket bookings, right? So something, right? So for you to communicate, get some things done, or to communicate with people from different countries, right? So to have chats between people, right? So, or to have a video call, something like this, right? So you need to interact with the computers, right? So that's why we have a programming language. So there are lots of programming languages: C, C++, Java, JavaScript, Python, HTML, right? So there's so many languages. Yes, so Python is one among them, right? So now that we have clarity on programming language, now, okay, so David, why do we need so many programming languages, right? So like, can't we stick to just one, right? So why do we need Python at all, right? So yes, I mean, the way we communicate, right? It can be simple, it can be complex, it varies from person to person, right? So I mean, I would always recommend this to imagine you yourself talking to different groups of people, right? The way you communicate is different, right? So for friends, you don't have to explain about things in detail, right? Or for your manager or for your colleagues, you use a different tone, right? So similarly, even for programming as well, you need some programming languages with different features. That was the main idea behind Python as well. It should be simple, easy to understand, but still without losing its effectiveness, right? So with the existing programming languages, can we build something on top of that so that it's more easy to understand and people can learn it faster as well? So that was the main idea. I think way back, it dates back to, I think, 1991 is where like we heard about Python for the first time, and then later on a lot of advancements happened, and here we are, right? So probably the most popular language right now, right? So okay, so now that the context is set, so let's jump into writing our first piece of code in today's session. Now, uh, for someone who has no idea about how to run code or how to set up all of this, I'll just give you some hints, and also I'll tell you the easiest way as well, and the way we'll be using for the entire lecture series. So first of all, if you want to set up everything on your local machine, so I would recommend you to download Python. You can just go to this download section. So download the most latest version of Python, right? So just go to the Python website. So whenever you see the latest version, you can download the latest version as well, right? So as you can see, you can download anything. Okay, if you want to download previous versions also, you will be able to download those previous versions as well. Okay, so very simple, download and install. So this Python, it's more like an interpreter. So it will try to understand what you are writing and then executes the code. Now, where do you write the code, right? So for you to write the code, there are multiple platforms and multiple interfaces. So I'll give you some examples, right? There's the most popular one, the one that a lot of developers use. It's called Visual Studio Code. So this is the most familiar one. So if you really want to build your career looking at a long-term solution, then I would recommend you to use Visual Studio Code, right? And if you're a person who is more into uh, some kind of analytics, right? So then I can recommend you a couple of tools. One is Spider. So a lot of people use this tool, Spider IDE. So this has, good setup. You can write your code, view your files, variables, and visualization. So all at one place. So this is also fairly popular, but this makes sense for someone who's into more any kind of analytics or data science kind of stuff, right? So there are Jupyter notebooks as well. You can explore about Jupyter notebooks. So this is also very familiar and among the data science community, right? So for you to install Spider or Jupyter, so there is something called Anaconda. You can use Anaconda directly. So this comes with a package. You don't have to download each thing separately. So all analytics softwares, especially are covered in Anaconda itself. You will be able to download all of them at one place, right? So all of these come at one place, right? So if you are a developer, use Visual Studio Code. If you are someone who's into data science, looking that as a long-term vision, you can download Anaconda and use Spider or Jupyter, whichever is comfortable for you. Okay, so David, this is all good, but I'm looking for most simple one. Can you tell me something simple so that I can easily, without any downloads, without any installations, is there something that is very simple for me? Yes, so there is something called Colab, COLAB. That is all you need to type. If you just search for it, right? So you will get something like this. So here I already have it open. So instead, if you just search um, on Google, right? So without using this link, so let's say I just search for Collab, right? The first link that you get, so just click on this Collab. So Collab is from Google. It's called Google Collab. Now after you click on the first link, then you get a pop-up window like this. You can click on this new notebook, right? right? So that will take you to a new notebook. So let's click on this, and this will take you to a new notebook. So it is taking some time to load, and I already have my notebook here, so I'm just creating this notebook here. Okay, so search for collab, click on the first link, you see a pop-up, then there is a new notebook. So as soon as you click on the new notebook, you will get something like this. Okay, the first thing that we do is let us name our notebook. So for example, let's name it day one, right? So day one, I'm just naming it, so that way you can actually always go back and see which notebook to refer. Okay, so day one. Now this is a very simple tool. As you can see, there's a lot of white space. This is where you write all your code, execute everything. On the right hand side, you can actually share your notebook. Someone can comment on it. It's more like Google Doc, Google Sheets kind of thing. So that's why Google Collab, right? So it comes with AI integration as well. You can use AI for this, some settings here, right? And you have to click on this connect. Okay, so just click on this connect. So this way it will automatically assign you some resources to run your code, right? No downloads, no installations, just couple of clicks. We clicked on new notebook, we clicked on connect. That's all. We didn't do anything. You are all set to write your first code. Okay, so here you can see there is start coding. You can click on this and you can start typing. Our first line in any programming language that you write is hello world. So let's do the same thing as well, right? So print and put brackets. So I'll come back to like why are we doing this? What is this print? Right? I'm just zooming for you so that you can see better, right? For now, just follow me, right? I'll explain you why am I writing this, right? What does it actually mean? We'll go to all of this. Okay, so I just clicked on this run button. You will be able to run your code. Print two brackets, right? So this normal braces. Then in double quotes, hello world, right? Now the first rule of programming is to observe, right? So please make sure you observe very small details. If you miss this bracket, run it. It will not run. Okay. If you miss this code, then run it. It will not run. Right. So the first rule of programming is to observe very carefully. Okay. So just pay attention. Right. That is all you need. Whenever you write about. Right. Welcome back. So let's uh, move to our day two, which is about learning about basic Python syntax. Now, in the last lecture, we wrote our first line of code, right? So now let's jump into learning how to write the code. What does it actually mean? And also, we'll try to do some basic arithmetic operations in today's lecture, right? Now, yes, let's create our day two notebook. You can create a new one as well. Like for example, very simple, go to file and you can create a save copy in drive as well. You can connect your Google Drive as well. Okay. Or you can change the current notebook to day two as well. Right. So let me create a new notebook. So file, new notebook in drive. It will automatically open up a new notebook. So yes, it is creating our new notebook as well. Right. So let us give it a name. Day two. Right. Now again, don't forget to connect. The beauty of Python here, right? I'll just put some code cells here. Now, when you type a word integer, it doesn't say anything. It says okay. It gives you some right, so some correction, right? So okay, something you've typed something that I don't understand, but when you type it int, right, then you see it is actually giving you it is valid. And also if you see it is in a different color, like well, let's say I put David, it's coming in black color, right? But when I put the word int, it's in different color. So that way you can understand. So Python has some code languages, right? Now int is one, then you have float, then you have string, right? So these are some things that I wanted to cover today. So as we go ahead, learn more things, we will get to understand a lot more things in detail as well, right? So int, float, string. So so these are nothing but some keywords in Python. So you can see the color is different. So that's how you can easily identify because of the collab. So what are each of these? And what do they mean, right? So for example, int is nothing but integer, which is like negative numbers, positive numbers, including zero, right? So anything is an integer. So all the way from minus infinity, right? So minus infinity to like all the way -1, 0, then you have 1 all the way to infinity, right? So this is your integer, right? Now float is a decimal, right? So float is nothing but a decimal in a simple English language. So decimal, as we know, like 0.1 is a decimal, 0.01 is a decimal, negative 0.1 is also a decimal, 10.3 is also a decimal, right? So anything which has, number before the dot, after the dot, it's like the decimal, it's called a float. Okay, so that is about float. String is nothing but characters, right? So a character is nothing but it could be a single letter. For example, A is a character, right? Now, yes, right? So as you see, I've put a character in double quotes. You can see these are quotes, right? So, and you have double quotes. You can also use single quotes, right? So whatever is your preference. So you can use letter, right? So it's nothing but a string. If you put something like a bus, this is also a string, or a sentence, right? I'm in a bus. This is also a string. So this is nothing but a set of characters, right? And if you notice, there is a space here, right? So this space, this is also a character, right? So empty space, it's also a character. Or a hashtag, it's also a character, right? So this @ is also characters, right? So if you want to read more about it, it's called ASCII characters, right? So there's a code for each of these characters, right? But anything is a character. Letters, right? So anything, but thing that you need to remember is you have to put the strings in double quotes or single quotes. So only then Python will understand that it is a character. As you see, as soon as I put it in double quotes, it is able to assign some different color, some kind of a brownish color. As you can see, right, it understands that, okay, these are some quotes. Okay, I put a dot here, it should be a comma, right? So that is about strings. Now, so David, what is all this? You are writing like a notebook, right? So what happens if you run it, right? So this code, I'm just using it to explain to you, right? So you don't have to run this code, right? What you can do is, I'll tell you some couple of shortcuts here. Now, Control plus A, right? So go to this cell, anywhere in this cell, and do Control A. You will be able to select the entire content of this. Okay. So this is used to select all, right? And then I'll tell you one more shortcut here, right? So select all and do Control \. You see the magic? I'll put the shortcut here. Control plus \. This is to comment all. Okay, once again, we'll select all, then we do Control \. Or what it does is it comments the entire thing. You can see it is converted into green color and it assigns some hashtag. So which means even if you run it, nothing happens, right? So it's like a notes to you, right? So comments, right? So we'll do the same thing here. Go to the cell. These are called cells. You select all, do Control \. Then this will give you the comment all. Right. Sorry, this is not \. This is a /. Okay. So yeah. Right. So okay. So I hope you understood till comments here. So we went through data types. Then we understood how to comment all as well. Now let's talk about something called variables. Right. So it's a very interesting topic. Right. So now let's learn about variables as well. Right. For example, I have some numbers in my mind and I just want to calculate some numbers. Okay. So I bought some things in a shop and I just want to use Python to use it like a calculator, right? So I just want to count some numbers, right? So the things that I've purchased, right? For example, I bought 3 things. So one of them costed 100 rupees, another one costed 25 rupees, another one costed 40 rupees. Okay, so now what you can do is you can just run this and then 165. You see, you can use it as a calculator as well, right? So you can do a lot of math operations. You can do 100 into 7, right? Right, so you can use collab as your, right, so you can keep adding cells by clicking on this plus code symbol. As you see, we can keep adding more cells to it, right? You can do a lot of things. For example, you can divide number as well, right? So all the basic operations can be done on collab itself. Like if you put double slash, it will give you an integer division, and if you put percentage, it gives you the reminders as well, right? So lots of operations can be done, right? Now, for example, let's say I'm watching a cricket match. Okay, I'm watching a cricket match, and Virat scored 60 runs. Okay, so now what did I do here? Okay, so David, while you're saying you just did something, okay, so what did I do? I have a number, I have a person, right? So I'm trying to connect the number to a person, right? The score to a person. So that is why we need this variables, right? So now Virat has scored 60, and let's say Rohit has scored 30, right? And then Rahul has scored 10. Okay, so now Virat scored 60 equals, I'm using an equal to symbol. So left side you have Virat and right side you have his score. You have to connect these two via equal to symbol. Okay, then you have Rohit, then you have Rahul, right? So now let us run all of this. When you try to fetch for Virat, you just put Virat and just run the code. What happens is you automatically get Virat's score. Or same thing happens if you put Rahul, right? If you run Rahul, you will get 10. And the beauty is you can add these things as well. You can do like Virat plus Rohit. If you do this, what happens is you will get sum of both of their runs, and you can keep adding, right? It's not like you can only add two things. You can add multiple things as well in one single line, right? Now these variables, you can also assign some simple values like x equals to 1, y equals to 2, z equals to 3, right? So you can use letters as well. Okay, you can use some names, set of characters, and then you can use x, but don't use numbers, right? So 1x, this will not work. As you see, it is throwing error, but you can use x1, right? So, or x2, you can use this, right? And if you want to assign multiple variables in one line, you can do that. X comma y comma z is equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3. So this automatically assigns x to 1, y to 2, z to 3. Isn't it amazing? Okay, so David, this is okay, amazing to see already. So let's recall what did we do, right? So we learned about int, float, string, set of integers, negative infinity to positive infinity, including 0, right? Then float, anything with a decimal is a float, negative, positive, doesn't matter. Then string is nothing but characters, single character, set of characters, right? So other characters like space, hash, at the rate, others, comma, or all things, right? Now, we learned a couple of shortcuts, control A to select all, control / to comment all. Then we learned about variables. So you can assign a value to a variable. So this is a variable x comma y comma z. Let's close this session with a simple input and output thing. For example, I want to introduce ABC numbers, right? So A comma B, I'll define it 10 comma 20. Okay. Now my C, I want C to be like A plus B, right? You can do those kind of things as well. So C is a new variable. C is equals to A plus B, isn't it? Okay, so now let's run it. As you see, it has run it and it has stored about C. Let's see what actually the value of C is. You can see it is 30. So that's how you can secretly store your values as well, right? So yes, that's all for this lecture. See you in the next one. Alright, hello everyone, this is David. So I'm going to be your instructor throughout this entire Python series. Right, welcome back. So as we've come to end of day 2, so just wanted to add one more thing as well. So as we go along these Python tutorials, so I just wanted to tell you that Alright, in the last lecture, we've learned about writing a basic Python syntax. We learned about variables, data types. We did some simple math operations as well. Now let's move on to the day 2. So let's create a new notebook once again. Right. So talking about day 3. So today we are going to learn about something very interesting. It's called control structures and conditional statements. It's a couple of very interesting topics and very. I mean. Now let's say okay, and I don't know about the ticket price. I just have 100 rupees in my pocket. Okay. And now the bunch of movies in the PVR, right? So let's say I went to a PVR. There are like 3-4 movies that are playing, and each movie ticket is in a different price, right? And one movie is 120 rupees, another movie is 90 rupees, another movie is 150 rupees, and the other one is like 200 rupees. Okay. Now I only have 100 rupees. So I can't go any movie which cost me more than 100 rupees, right? Now I can go to a movie which is less than or equal to 100 rupees, isn't it? Now let's say I want to create this whole logic in Python, right? So I have some money in the pocket. There is a movie that is playing and I know the ticket price, right? So will I be able to go that movie or not? So what do we do in general? What do we do? Simple common sense. I'll just compare, right? You compare the ticket price with the money in your pocket and then you decide, right? Now, whatever I've mentioned in a plain English language, let's try to do that in the same Python. Okay. So Python is sometimes it's like a reading a book. So let's see how it actually feels like reading a book. Okay. I'll write the code first and then I'll explain you so that you actually understand. Just observe while I'm writing the code and then I'll explain you the things in detail, right? Now ticket price, just observe carefully. I'm using ticket price and I'm using an underscore. So this is called an underscore, right? So the one which is basically after 0 in your keyboard, right? So if you put a shift and this, you'll get this underscore. So this is called an underscore, right? So ticket underscore price. So I would always recommend use this. So a lot of people, what they do is if it is ticket price, they type like this, right? Or they type something like this, ticket price, right? So I would recommend use lowercase most of the times. Don't use uppercase. Like some people type it this way, right? So just like in English, right? So I would recommend don't. So use lowercase completely. So ticket, and if you have 2 words, separate them by an underscore like this. So ticket price. So let's say ticket price is 100 rupees, and my wallet size is okay. So let's make ticket price 90 rupees, isn't it? And my wallet size is 100. Okay, and now let's run it. Now these are nothing but your variables. These are nothing but your values. So let's add more code cells here. Okay, so now if you look for ticket underscore price and run this. So by the way, you can also run this every time. You don't have to click on this. You can do control enter. So control enter is a shortcut to run your code, right? So we've learned about another shortcut. I'll put this shortcut control plus enter to run the code, right? So control plus enter automatically runs your code. Now, as you said, we have to compare these two, right? So ticket price and wallet size. Now for comparison in Python, what we use, it is called if. Okay, so let's see how do you actually compare. If ticket price, right? So now my ticket price, if it is less than my wallet, right, or equal to, right? So less than or equal to. Then what I say is I'm just printing, just follow me, I understand. So David, what are you writing? Okay, this is wallet size. So let's use wallet size. I'll write it first and then I'll explain it to you. Okay, wallet size, then print. Hooray, I can go to this movie, right? And else, sad, I don't have enough purse. Okay, if you run this, so what you get is, okay, you see my wallet size is 100, my ticket price is 90, and then, okay, so I'm comparing these two, I'm getting this output. Okay, so David, now tell us the magic. What did you write here? Right. As I said, we are doing a comparison, ticket price, wallet size. How am I comparing? So these are the less than, equal to, so these are nothing but comparison symbols. So you will do a comparison using less than symbol, greater than symbol, less than or equal to symbol, greater than or equal to symbol, right? So sometimes use double equal to and not equal to as well. So these are called not equal to and this is equal to, right? So less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than or equal to, double equals to, or not equals to, right? So ticket price, if my ticket price is less than my wallet size, I can go to this movie, else I can't go to this, right? So I don't have enough purse, right? Now, okay, so David, I see some interesting characters and I see you've put some space here, right? So what's going on, right? Now the way you write this whole if statements is basically, this is nothing but a flow chart, right? So this is nothing but a flow chart. If I have this happens. If I don't, this happens, right? So let's say in elections you have two parties, right? So whoever wins the majority, they win. If they don't, they lose. In cricket, if the team chases the score, they win. If they don't chase, they lose, right? So similarly, even here as well, if my wallet size is greater than the ticket price, I go to this movie, right? Now, okay, if the way I'll just write some skeleton code as well so that you understand this. So you write an if and then you compare, right? And then you have to put a colon symbol. So every time you write an if, it has, and then your condition, then close your condition with a colon, then click on enter. So because I'm using collab, it automatically understands that, okay, this is an if, I have to give some space, right? Now, why this space? Why not write from here? So that is a convention. Like, so some programming languages, they have these brackets. You have to write a code within these brackets. For example, C, you have to put these brackets and you write it. So this is different. So Python is like a more posh language. You don't need brackets. Just give a space. I'll understand. Okay. So here I'm giving double spaces. Sometimes you have to give 4 spaces. And here you write your execution. That's whatever you want to do. That's what you want to do. If it is this, so I wanted to print something, so I printed something. Okay. Now then, if every if is followed by an else, right? So then else, then what happens here? You can write to do statement here, and then that's all, right? So this is how if, then a condition, then to do, then else, and then you mention what to do here as well. Okay. Now this is a simple case. I hope you understood. So what did we do? So we took a couple of variables, then we compared it, then we wrote our simple statement. Now, for example, let's say I have another problem. Okay. Now I have a set of marks out of 100. So let's say I've achieved 85. Okay. And in my school, the grading system is something like this, right? So if you are 90 plus, then you get an A plus. Okay. Then if you are 80 plus, you get an A. If you are 70 plus, you get a B plus, right? If you are 60 plus, you get a B. And let's imagine if you are less than 60, you fail. Okay. So I'm being very harsh here, I know. You fail. Okay, so now, okay, it's no longer one condition. There are multiple conditions. So how do we tackle this situation? So in this case, we use something called not just if and else, we also use something called elif. Okay, so let's see how do we do that. Okay, now as we know, let us add more codes here. Okay, so yes. Now, if my marks, we already understood how to write a condition. So let's use that. If my marks are greater than or equals to 90, which is an integer, you close the condition with a colon. So it is a good practice to put your condition in brackets. So let's say I put brackets here, right? So yes, print, what do I say? A plus. Okay. Now here, what you can do is instead of putting else, you can type in elif. Elif, then again put some condition, your marks greater than or equals to 80, right? Then print, what do you get? A, isn't it? Then same elif, then again marks greater than or equal to 70, then yes. Okay, 1 second, I missed it. Okay, you put a colon, print, this is B plus, and so on. You keep writing it until you fulfill all the conditions greater than or equals to 60. Then print B. Then here you can write else, print fail. Okay, so now let us put some marks above here as well. So marks, let's say I've got 91 now. So let's run this. So let's see what happens. Okay, you see we have built our own grading system, automatically gives you the grade A plus. Let's modify it to, let's say, 76. Okay, 76 is a B plus. Or let's say I got only 40, then it's a fail, unfortunately, right? So this is how you can use if, else, or if and elif as well. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.
Students, we concluded today's session. Remaining part will be seen on next lectures. Okay, take care. Bye bye.